6. Okay, there has an important amount. There's lots of people they don't know. On line 90. Okay, look. Did I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so on line 90, they have a home buyer amount. Okay, home buyer amount. What the home buyer amount is your first when you purchase first home. Okay, when you purchase first home, then you qualify for 5,000 credit. So you know that this online 6 on page 6, okay, there's all credit, non-refundable credit. That's 5,000. So most people they don't know. Okay, this one. So you know there's 5,000 is the credit I said is not 5,000 deduct your tax. Is 5,000 they need times 15%. Okay, 15%. So it's 750. Reduce your tax, deduct your tax. That's credit. It's very good. So what I'm going to, so today I tell you what this one works. So there's lots of people they don't know, and when they do the tax return, and I just gave you the story for that is there's a lady, that the lady they work at. That's the lady they work at Chinese. They work at the Chinese store, okay, and then she got actually she's I think it's 2 years ago. 2 years ago, she's around the Chinese, around the Chinese New Year. I went because I shopping there is top 100. I shopping there is for over 10 years. So I know her is 8 years. Then it's just I'm a customer. She is an employee worker over here. We just and it's just this relationship, not very close friend. It's just then she just because she doesn't know what what is my occupation. Then we just I just shopping there, then know her and familiar with her. Then this one, then because it's close to Chinese New Year, then I think it's 2 years or 3 years ago. Can't remember. Definitely is before pandemic. Then she one time, that time she's very happy. She's talking to me. She said, okay, then this year I really got the very good year, and I'm going to celebrate my new house, celebrate Chinese New Year at my new house. I said, really? You move to your new house or you just purchase your new house? He said, I just I already moved in my new house in last year, November. That's what she said, before Christmas. I make it before Christmas, he said, okay. Then I said, do you do your tax return? He said, yes, I did. I asked somebody to come my home. That's a very good price, you know. They just charge me $50 for 2 return, because she got 1 T4 and her husband is T4, only 1 T4, okay? He never changed the job, only 1 T4. Her husband is only 1 T4 and she has 1 T4. Then they don't have children because the children is over 20 years old, okay? They all grow up, they have their own family. So that's the tax return is very, very simple, right? So that she said she asked one lady to come to her home on her computer to tax return, $50 for both. It's very low price. Okay, then I say, yeah, it's low. It's very low price, you know. Even I think HR block, you do not two people return. One people need charge you $70, right? If you are no, I believe it's $70 for one person. You only have a T4. That's a very simple return. Then I just tell her, so do you know you are qualified for first home buyer credit? So you can claim on that. Then you get $750, $750 more. You can claim that. Then he said, okay, and I have no idea. I need to phone that lady to find out. Then she phoned the lady, and after I almost leave, and I already check out, almost leave. Then she just come to me. She said she phoned that lady, and the lady tell her, the lady tell her, says that's a first home buyer amount is not existed before. They do have, but now it's not existed. Then because that time, I believe I have. I believe they have. They have there, but I need to check my. I need to check my cell phone, right? And I said, okay. I said I'm pretty sure they are still there. It's not. It's not like this lady says it's not existed anymore. But I check. I use my cell phone to check. Yeah, it's there. Then I tell her it's there. Then it is there. Ask that lady. Ask the lady to do that for you. Then I don't know if the lady apply for her or not. So in this case, I'm going to tell, first thing I'm going to tell you who is qualified for that amount. Then the second time, if you're missing, I do find some students they are missing, or like that Chinese lady, they are missing that. They're missing that part. How we can ask that money? Still $750, right? It's not. It's still money, not the big money, but still the money. So how we can ask that money back, even you are not already file your tax return? Okay. So the first thing is
Ma'am, question. Ma'am, question.
Yeah, question. Yeah, please.
I think this is a good because now I sold a property.
Yes.
The closing is March 25.
You sell your property.
Yeah.
You sell your property. Yeah. Then you want to buy another one.
No. So what will happen is we sold the property, our residential property.
Yeah. So you sell property is this year, 2022, right?
Yes,
so
March 20.
Yeah, 2022. So I'm going when I introduce that investment income, then I will tell you. And next year, when you do 2022 return, you need to do something. Even your residential property, you still need to do something, but not 2021, because we are now doing 2021, right? So not 2021, yeah, 2022. So I'm going to tell you something, okay? Yeah. So now I'm talking about that the first home buyer, okay, amount. So let's just hold on. Need to find out.
Because do I need to pay like tax?
You don't need to
that
pay.
one?
You don't need to pay anything because it's a principal resident. You don't need to pay, but you need to do something. Yeah. But you need to do something. Yeah. Then I will tell you. It's very very simple. What? Yeah. Okay. What this was? Amount. Home buy amount is on page 6, right? On the page 6, 90. The line number is 90, but there's a the formal number is 31270. Okay, is 31270. This line number, you can claim. You can claim 5,000 for purchase a qualified home in the year if both, okay, I got both. If both of you following apply, you and your spouse or common law partner acquire the qualifying home, and you did not leave another home owned by you and your spouse and common law partner in the year of acquisition, or in the any 4 preceding years, first year home buyer. So that means, not you are not only sometimes we said this amount. The lots of people, they said this amount is for first time home buyer, but it's not necessary it's first time. You could be second time. Is this one in detail is 5 years. We said 5 years. And 5 years and requirement. What 5 years is, like for example, this year you purchase a home, okay, in 2020 you purchase home, in 2022 you purchase home, then this year, of course, in 2022 you don't have another house, okay, and then the preceding another 4 years, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018. So start from 2018, from 2018 to now, you don't have any house under your name or under your spouse's name. Okay, if you have a spouse or common law partner under your spouse's name, then in 2020 you purchased house, you are qualified. You are qualified for this amount, for home buyer amount. It's just even you have a house in 2015, right? You 2015 you sell the house, then you living in rental house, or you're living in your parents' house, then you live in your parents' house. That means you don't have any house you own. You don't have a principal resident house. Then after then this year, then you purchase house, you still qualify for this amount. Okay, understand? I hope I explained to you, clear for you.
How many years, ma'am?
So that, yes.
How many years? Like, is it 4 years?
It's 5 years. It's like, see, this year you purchase house. In 2022 you purchase house, right? In 2022 you purchase house. So this house in 2022, of course, you don't have. In 2022 you don't have any house, own any house. Okay, then you trace back for 4 years, 2021, 20, 2020, 2019, 2018. So start from January 2018 to now, you don't have any house, own any house. So you live, for example, you live in your parents' house, or you live in your rental house. If you have a spouse, both, okay, if your spouse don't have that house, okay, then this means you qualify. Okay, the both of you. This says both of you. Okay, so you qualify for that 5,000. It's not necessary for your first time home buyer. That means I said, give you example, is you in 2015, you have a house, okay, before from whatever. Then 2015, you sell the house, okay? In 2015, you sell house, then you live in rental house. Then now you decided to buy another house, so you still qualify. Because since 2018 to now, you live in rental house, right? And 2015, of course, is qualified. Okay, of course it's qualified. So it's not necessary is first time home buyer. So most time we just says first time home buyer. Yeah. So like I said, like even I said to that Chinese lady work at Chinese supermarket. I said, you are first home buyer. You qualify for 5,000. So this one, they says home buyer amount. Okay. And another rule is you do not have to be first home buyer if you are eligible for disability tax credit. So for disability tax credit, disabled people, then they don't limit it for the first home buyer. Okay, if you acquired the home for benefit of related to person who is eligible for disability tax credit, like the your spouse has a disability tax credit and your children or something, then however the purchase must be made allow the person that with a disability to live that home that is more accessible or better suited for their needs. For the purpose of the home buyer's amount, a person with a disability is the person who is eligible for disability tax credit for the year in which the home is acquired. So so if you have a dependent, if you a spouser and the spouser and the common law partner, they are disability, they have a disability tax credit. So you it's not stuck with a first home buyer, not stuck with 5 years rule. It's not 5 years rule, okay? It just if you purchase the house is more accessible or better needs for their needs. For example, you purchase the original house, they don't have elevator. Then you purchase a house, they have an elevator. So the elevator is good for the person they on the wheelchair. So in this case, you still qualify for 5,000. So okay, and also that 5,000 you can split. Then for husband and wife, you can split for 25 for each or 2,000, 3,000 each. But I tell you, the split, I tell you the best things is because I said this amount, okay? Is anybody want take a picture for this one? If you want take a picture, you feel free, okay? Otherwise, I just close this one now.
We're done.
Okay. Now I just tell you, and we just come back to so there's 5,000 is federal non-taxable tax credit. So federal non-refundable tax credit. So in any credit in here is the better, because they are not like medical expenses. Medical expenses exception. I'm going to talk next week, okay, not this week. So for this one, the best thing is you put under the person with high income, okay? So you and your husband, they both, they are only one person can claim 5,000, not both, not you claim 5,000, your husband 5,000. No, you only one can claim, or you split 3 thousands for 2,000s. Okay, but the best thing you said 5,000. Who claim it will be better? So you choose that person with high income. Okay, you put on the person with high income, unless you for because why? Because this is non-refundable. The non-refundable tax credit, if you because we reduce the tax, right? You reduce the tax. That's credit is reduced tax, is not reduce your income. The deduction is reduce your income. There's reduce your tax. Like if your credit is more, like for example, your tax payable is 2,000, but your credit is 3,000. Then you lost 1,000 credit because they won't refund your 1,000, right? So your tax payable is 2,000, then your credit is 3,000. So that 3,000, your 1,000 is non-refundable. So that is rather than you put on the person with high income. With person with high income, they pay high tax, right? They pay higher tax, then the credit is guarantee you guarantee their that credits is not lost. Okay, but if both of you is lower income, mm, you worry about the loss, then you split. You split the 2,000, 3,000, or 2,050, and another is 2,050. That would be good. Okay, so otherwise you just put on this very simple one. It's you put person with high income. The same thing I'm going to teach you that donation, charity donation and gift. Then the line 114, okay, is next week. And that same thing. These are kind of things is under the person with high income, okay, on the person with high income. And so how, then this the question, okay, the second question. So how about I'm missing? Some student, they tell me, yeah, 2 years ago I purchased a home, but I don't know this amount. I never know this amount. Now I know now. So can I ask back? Yes, you can do ask back, but ask back, be careful. And then I tell that student is 2 years ago. You have to remember 2 years ago how much income you make. If your income is low, then I suggesting you put on your husband's title. But if you're still 2 years ago, if you're still a student and you only make 20,000 a year, so you won't get that 750. Okay, and they says, okay, that's credit. You don't need that credit because you only make 20,000. Probably you won't get this. Okay, so now I'm just talking about who put on the whose title. Okay, on the person with high income title. So if you both is around 30 something, 30,000 every year, then you split. Okay, then you split. We just say under 30,000 is low. So it's low income. So usually I cannot give you exactly number because everybody have a credits is different, right? Then every year that the personal basic personal amount is like this. Okay, line 74. That's a personal this one is basic personal amount. Every year they change. So I cannot give you exactly amount. It's only I tell you when you are under 30,000 income, under 30,000 income is we just says is low income. So you possible loss credit. If you have a lot of credit, you possible loss it. Okay. So if so this one is the second question is put on the person with high income. Then the last question, if I lost it, if I forgot it, or if I don't know, I miss it in 2 years ago, or 5 years ago, okay? In 5 years ago, if I lost it. So you mean it's six? I think it's 6 years. If you pass 6 years, you cannot ask change, okay? You cannot change. It's only 6 years. If you just you purchase home in 2010, then you lost. Okay, then you lost. So it's only 6 years. You still can you still can do the adjustment. So when you file your T1, when you file your T1, okay, you can you already sent your T1, submit T1 to CRA. You cannot submit another one to TRA, only one. If you have a mistake or if you have you're missing some item, you only need to do is do adjustment. So that's called the T1 adjustment. You cannot send another T1 for CRA because CRA doesn't know which one you is right. Okay, so you only can do T1 adjustment. So how we find the T1 adjustment? You click on that. Then they give your T1 ADJ T1. Okay, that's called the T1 adjustment request. So T1 adjustment request, then I prefer in viewable, okay, PDF viewable here. It's like this, okay? This the T1 adjustment. Then you just social insurance number. If you decided put on who is high income, right? It's you or your husband. You put that social insurance number. If your husband, you put the social insurance number here. Then which tax year you need to change, okay? It's 2019 or 2020. In that time you purchase home, okay? In this time you purchase home, 2019 you purchase your new home, but you forgot claim that amount. So you just put over there, okay? The tax year, for example, 2019, you purchase a home, but in 2019 tax year, the return you forgot to do that, okay? And the address. So in 2019 tax year, that address you changed or not? So now possible you change another one. So if you change, you just click on this one, then you put the new address here. Otherwise, you check this one, then the address is on 2019 that address. Okay, they will send you on that address. So that the address. And for this one, for the box B, part B. So the part B, you don't need to do anything because part B is for somebody. If you don't know how to do it, you ask that accounting form, or you ask HR block to do that. They have a represent ID, okay, representative ID or the e-file. They just do their own e-file. So you don't need to do anything here, okay? You don't need to do anything here. So you only can do is part C, part A and part C, okay? Part A is identification. So part C is what you need to change. Okay, so you put the line number from the return. Okay, so the line number is 31278 270. This is the formal line number, not line 90. Line 90 is for me. For me, it's easy to know that. This one is T1, okay? Then T1. So the T1 31270. Then you put the home buy amount, right? So that's the home buy amount. So the home buy amount, then the previous amount is 0, right? Then I want to increase to 5,000, right? So the amount change is 5,000. Then the previous is 5,000. Okay, the reverse. Okay, the reverse amount is 5,000. Okay, so that's pretty simple. Then you just this is the date, then your signature here. Okay, that's it. Phone number. That's it. It's very simple. Then you're done. Okay, very simple. Then you're done. Then another thing is, I gave you example is my cousin. It's my probably it's not called yeah. My nephew, he is I think it's 3 years or 4 years ago. She was he nephew he okay, he was student of University of Calgary, UC student, full-time student. Okay, then that year, because she did her tax, she did his tax return by his own, because he only it's very simple. It's a student test, only one T4, and the T2202, which is a student, that's tuition. Okay, which is tuition. That's a very simple one. So I just teaching him to do the tax return because he really needed to do that. Okay, and I don't do anything for him. So he did his own tax return. Okay, like my elder daughter, he did his own tax return. I just teach him, to teach her because it's easy. You need to know that knowledge. Then what he did is he got for the that year he removed the very back teeth. Okay, over there that's called wisdom. The wisdom key. That's very back teeth, the big teeth. Remove it is spend the 2,000. Spend the 2,000 to remove that back teeth. But however, like I said, when he did the data entry, he did 20,000. He did 20,000 for medical expenses. Okay, more zero. 20,000. Then he got a letter. He got a letter from CRA. CRA asked him to send in that medical expenses receipt because 20,000, doesn't make sense. 20,000. He was a full-time student, and the medical expenses is 20,000. That's the huge money, right? 20,000. That's pretty big. 20,000 for. If he got 20,000 medical expenses, probably he's very sick. But how he make a full-time student there? So that's that's interesting. Okay, that's interesting for CRA. Then CRA wants to see that 20,000 medical expenses receipt. Ask him to send in. Then he got that letter. He's panic. It's panic. Then he just come to me. He said, he get trouble. Of course, he doesn't have a 20,000 medical expenses receipt. Okay, then I tell him, then I said, not big deal. Okay, you only do is, I tell him, only do is do the T1 adjustment. Okay, do the T1 adjustment. So how they do T1 adjustment? Okay, so now we just do T1 adjustment together. Okay, how we do T1 adjustment for him, because I asked him to do it, then he's panic. He doesn't want to do anything. He said, "Oh, I just freak out." So he doesn't want to do anything. He want I do it. I deal with a CRA. Then I give him suggestion is do T1 adjustment, and because he's student, he doesn't need lots of that 20,000 tax credit, because that credit is non-refundable. He is very low income, so 2,000, you just change it to 2,000. Then I think he paid 50 something, the balance. He paid 50 something balance. Then he put a letter, tell CRA, say, sorry, I made the mistake. I just the data entry mistake. So I just put the 10 more. That's it. Okay. Now I just teaching you how to do that T1 adjustment for him, like his situation. His situation is now, we just check here, okay? I need to check this one. You put
precisely how President Biden will transform
you put the 33099. That's the line number. So the line number, the name is medical expenses for self, spouse or common law partner, and your dependent child. Okay, so now we just do adjustment, T1 adjustment. Okay. So for example, for my nephew, he made a mistake, right? So that's line number is 33099 T1. T1. Then the name is medical expenses. For yourself. Sponsor. And the dependent child. Dependent child, okay. No, this one is spousers and dependent child. So previous amount he put the 20,000. Then I want decrease minus, okay? The amount change. So amount change is you change 20,000 to 2,000. So the amount change is 18,000. Then the reverse number is 2,000. Okay, then pretty simple. Okay, then that's it. Then you just I asked him to sign here, to date, and the signature, sign here. Then he got a letter. Give the letter for CRA. They says they give letter for CRA. They says the data entry is wrong. Then they paid because I adjusted that T1. So I find that the balance is he need to pay 50 something. So only 50 something. Then he paid 50. I said, you pay right away. You pay your 50 in online banking, right? You pay right away. 50 something, they paid. And they just attach that 2,000. And actually it's 2,000 more, okay? Actually $2,010, I forgot. It's just 2,000 to make things simple. Just put 2,000, attach that, and that copy, the copy receipt, okay? You keep that original receipt, then give them copy. And copy receipt for 2,000 to send, and to put in the envelope, give to CRA. Then it's done. It's nothing. So it's nothing. They don't ask him to, then this case is closed. Okay, the closed. That's it. So again, that's how you do the T4 adjustment. Okay, so the T4 adjustment is pretty simple. When you do this one, you print out, you print this one to the CRA. Okay, put the letter in CRA. Put it in the letter. In envelope, mail to CRA. You're done. Okay.
One question, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you do this electronically, or you have to do it by mail?
No, you cannot do electronically. You only do it by mail. And because this form is you download from the CRA. You download from the CRA website. So for statute tax, they don't have. For the statute tax, they don't have anything here. T1 adjustment. Okay. So statute tax, they don't have. Okay, here.
Question, ma'am, but once you
in this one, okay, that's the statute tax. Okay, that's the statute tax. So this one is you can submit it. That's you see that you look at my mouse. Okay, so that's net file. As long as you click the net file, then you submit. If you submit it, then you're done. You cannot submit another one, T1, okay? So the CRA, and also if you submit another one, then the CRA website is blocked. They says we already received your file, so you cannot submit another one. So what you only can do is do T1 adjustment, okay? So you only can do is T1 adjustment. How you get T1 adjustment on the CRA website? To download, I show you to download fillable PDF. Then you download it, you fill out, then you just save on your file. Then you print out, send it to CRA. Okay, you cannot do the net file. Okay, you cannot do the net file. Net file is only sent T1. Only for T1 you in this studio text. So studio text they won't give you any adjustment, T1 adjustment. So this is the one thing. Another thing is I just strongly recommend you don't do T1 adjustment. Is you are necessary. Okay, so that's what I'm going to tell you when you submit it. For me, we have a final text. When you submitted your final, or when you submitted your practice, you have to develop your good working habit. You have to check, double check, and triple check. You have no problem. Then you just submit it. Okay, you just submitted your work. Then in this case, prevent a mistake. But some people, they just hurry, they just submit it. Then after submitted, they find, okay, problem. Then you do the T1 adjustment. So the T1 adjustment you can do. That's I teach you, you can do. Of course you can do. But I tell you, it's, it's with CRA, it's with CRA, that's the waste some time, right? They need a look at, then need extra work. That's the one thing. You waste that resource, okay? Waste somebody, you waste everybody's time, okay? That's the same. That's the thing. Another thing is when you frequently to submit the T1, then the CRA, they will thinking you are not, your tax return is not accurate, because yourself is find lots of mistake. Of course, they will keep looking, keep checking your tax file. So in this case, you probably get great chance to editing. So nobody want editing, right? You nobody want, nobody want editing your file. So that's my suggestion is they will think you knowing, and you find lots of mistake. Probably you have a lot of mistake on your tax return. So the CRA will come to you, okay? They will take a close look to your tax file. Then the big chance they will come to you. So for my case, okay, in my case, because I do my tax return for my family and my brother and my brother's family and my brother-in-law's family, sister-in-law's family. So in this, I did over 30 years now. I never do T1 adjustment. Never. Okay, so far I never do T1 adjustment by myself, by my brother's return, family's return, my sister-in-law's family return. So but I did do T1. I teach T1 for my friend, and also I did T1 for my nephew because he made a mistake, okay, for 20 that data entry. So I just strong suggesting you data entry, you need to check, okay? You need to double check. He did 20,000. Actually it's 2,000. Okay, so in this case, so you could do. unless it's necessary.
So, ma'am, you're doing a lot of T1s for other people.
No, I never did T1 for other people. I said only T1 for my family, for family and my brother's family,
Okay.
and my
Okay, ma'am.
sister's family. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. I'll go check if I'm related to you.
So I don't do. But my friend, they always ask me. Some questions. So I just try to teach them to do that. Then if my friend, the one of my friend, I was talking after break. Okay, so the tuition transfer, her son's tuition transfer to her husband. So he made a mistake. Then I will tell you, I tell her to do the T1 adjustment. So I don't do T1 adjustment for her. Okay, I don't want to her because one thing is I'm very busy, and I don't have at that time to do that return. And also, I think tax return is easy. Everybody can learn. Then if you learn, then you can do by yourself. Okay, so you don't need, if you ask somebody to do a tax return, then you rely on somebody. So then in future, every year you have to ask that buddy to help you, to do that for you. So it's not good. So rather than you can do it by your own, then in your future forever, like everybody here, in the future, you never pay somebody to do it, or you never ask somebody like your relatives to do it, then you can do it. Okay. I believe there's everybody here, you take your you take my model, you take every time you study very well. Okay, not you just you log on my Zoom, then you put the phone over there, then you sleep. Okay, I'm not guarantee you. So as long as you learn, I guarantee you can do your tax. You can do your tax by your own. Okay. Like some people, they just log on my Zoom, then they working at the same time that they do their work. So in this case, I'm not guarantee you. Okay, I'm not guarantee you. And some people, they just tell me they do the night shift, so they cannot focus on my class. They just log on that, then they put cell phone on in the bed, then they go to sleep. So in this case, I'm not guarantee you. Okay, for some student, for that, the most student, they are focused on my class. They ask questions, they are thinking, they practice very well. Then I can guarantee you can do your tax return since this year. Okay, start with this year now. In future, okay, you can do. Let's take a break. Okay, let's take a break. I think it's 10:20. I meet you